Hi everyone, and welcome to today's video session. My name is Thomas and I'm one of the IELTS teachers here at LangGo Learning System. Our online video sessions are designed to help you improve a certain aspect of one of the 4 key competencies for your IELTS exam. In today's case, reading. In today's video session, I will look at a couple of the reading sections and explain each question for you. This will hopefully help you guys improve your reading skills and give you a few useful strategies that you can use in the exam. Continuing with the reading section from Cambridge 9, today we're going to do the second passage of Test 2. The passage is about Venus in transit. Please open the link to the passage in the description box below this video. For questions 14 to 17, we answer which paragraph contains the following information. Question 14. Examples of different ways in which the parallax principle has been applied. Keywords here are examples and parallax principle. In paragraph F, the author mentions the Johann Franz Encke, director of the Berlin Observatory, finally determined a value for the AU based on all these parallax measurements. 153,340,000 kilometers. The AU is a cosmic measuring rod and the basis of how we scale the universe today. The parallax principle can be extended to measure the distances to the stars. Therefore, the parallax principle has been applied to determine a value for the AU and to measure the distance to the stars. Our answer is F. Question 15. A description of an event which prevented a transit observation. Our keywords here are event and prevented transit observation. In paragraph D, the author indicates that he was thwarted by the fact that the British were besieging his observation site at Pondicherry in India. Fleeing on a French warship crossing the Indian Ocean, Le Gentil saw a wonderful transit, but the ship's pitching and rolling ruled out any attempt at making accurate observations. Prevented means ruled out any attempt at, so our answer here would be D. Question 16. A statement about potential future discoveries leading on from transit observations. Our keywords here are future discoveries and transit observations. In paragraph G, the writer states that such transits have paved the way for what might prove to be one of the most vital breakthroughs in the cosmos, detecting Earth-sized planets orbiting other stars. Synonyms here are discoveries for breakthroughs and leading on from for paved the way for. Our answer would be G. Number 17, a description of physical states connected with Venus, which early astronomical instruments failed to overcome. Keywords, instruments, physical states, Venus, and failed. In paragraph E, the author indicates that while the early transit timings were as precise as instruments would allow, the measurements were dogged by the black drop effect. When Venus begins to cross the sun's disk, it looks smeared, not circular, which makes it difficult to establish timings. The second problem is that Venus exhibits a halo of light when it's seen just outside the sun's disk. While this showed astronomers that Venus was surrounded by a thick layer of gases refracting sunlight around it, both effects made it impossible to obtain accurate timings. There are some synonyms used here. Physical states are the black drop effect and a halo of light, and fail to overcome means the same as made it impossible. So we would know that the answer is paragraph E. For questions 18 to 21, we're required to match each statement to the correct person. Number 18, he calculated the distance of the Sun from the Earth based on observations of Venus with a fair degree of accuracy. Keywords are distance, observations of Venus, and accuracy. Paragraph F discusses that Johann Franz Encke, director of the Berlin Observatory, finally determined a value for the AU based on all these parallax measurements. 153,340,000 kilometers. Reasonably accurate for the time, that's pretty close to today's value of 149,597,870 kilometers. The below phrases have the same meaning. The distance of the Sun from the Earth is the AU. and with a fair degree of accuracy means the same as reasonably accurate. Our answer here is D. Number 19, he understood that the distance from the sun from the earth could be worked out by comparing observations of a transit. Our key words here are distance, worked out, and by comparing observations. In paragraph B, he, Edmund Halley, realised that from different latitudes the passage of the sun across the sun's disks would appear to differ. By timing the transit from two widely separated locations, teams of astronomers could calculate the parallax angle, the apparent difference in position of an astronomical body due to a difference in the observer's position. Calculating this angle would allow astronomers to measure what was then the ultimate goal, the distance to the Earth from the sun. To work out is to calculate or measure, so our answer here would be A. Number 20, he realised that the time taken by a planet to go around the sun depended on its distance from the sun. Our keywords here are time, around the sun, and distance from the sun. In paragraph C, the writer argues that Johannes Kepler, in the early 17th century, had shown that the distances of the planets from the sun governed their orbital speeds, which were easily measurable. Here, go around is synonymous with orbit or orbital, so our answer is B. Number 21, he witnessed a Venus transit but was unable to make any calculations. Our keywords here are Venus transit, unable, and calculations. In paragraph D, the writer discusses that, fleeing on a French warship crossing the Indian Ocean, Le Gentil saw a wonderful transit, but the ship's pitching and rolling ruled out any attempts at making accurate observations. Unable and ruled out are the same, and made any calculations and making accurate observations have the same meaning. So here our answer is C. Questions 22 to 26. Do the following statements agree with the information given in reading passage 2? Number 22. Halley observed one transit of the planet Venus. Our keywords here are Halley, transit, and Venus. In paragraph B, the writer indicates that in November 1677, Halley observed a transit of the innermost planet Mercury from the desolate island of St. Helena in the South Pacific. Nevertheless, he accurately predicted that Venus would cross the face of the Sun in both 1761 and 1769, although he didn't survive to see either. So our answer here is false. He was dead. Number 23. Gentil managed to observe a second Venus transit. Our keywords here are managed and second Venus transit. In paragraph D, the author indicated that, undaunted, he remained south of the equator, before setting off to observe the next transit in the Philippines. Ironically, after travelling nearly 50,000 kilometres, his view was clouded out at the last moment, a very dispiriting experience. This suggests that Gentil did not succeed in observing a second Venus transit in the Philippines. Our answer would be false. Number 24, the shape of Venus appears distorted when it starts to pass in front of the Sun. Our keywords are shape, distorted, and to pass in front of the Sun. In paragraph E, the writer mentions that while the early transit timings were as precise as instruments would allow, the instruments were dogged by the black drop effect. When Venus begins to cross the Sun's disk, it looks smeared, not circular. Some synonyms are used here. To pass in front of the Sun is to cross the Sun's disk, and distorted is the same as smeared. Our answer here would be true. Number 25. Early astronomers suspected that the atmosphere on Venus was toxic. Our keywords here are the atmosphere on Venus and toxic. In this passage, Venus's atmosphere is not mentioned by the writer, so it's not known whether it's toxic or not. Therefore, our answer is not given. Number 26. The parallax principle allows astronomers to work out how far away distant stars are from the Earth. Our keywords here are parallax principle, how far, stars, and Earth. In paragraph F, the writer says that the parallax principle can be extended to measure the distances to the stars. If we look at a star in January, when Earth is at one point in its orbit, it will seem to be in a different position from where it appears 6 months later. Knowing the width of Earth's orbit, the parallax shift lets astronomers calculate the distance. So the answer is true. That's all for the second passage of the reading section. Don't forget to note down and practice new words that you've encountered in the passage in order to improve your vocabulary. I really hope that you found this session helpful in preparing you for your IELTS test. If you'd like to sign up for IELTS courses here at LangGo, please click on the link below. Our courses are designed to help you by providing personalised learning pathways and giving you individual outcomes. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and please hit that bell button to get notifications of our latest video uploads. I've been Thomas at LangGo Learning Systems, and hopefully I'll see you for the next video. Bye.